Well, as we enter the season of giving, you might be thinking of charities you wish to support, but there are also some tax benefits that could be gained from your gifts. And to talk about that, we are joined by Mark Matthews with Edward Jones. Hello, Mark. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mary Grace. Glad to be here.
Glad to be speaking with you about this. We're talking about considering tax-smart charitable gifts. Mark, I know it's possible to gain tax advantages from these gifts, and why don't you talk to us about that and some strategies when it comes to charitable giving?
Yeah, there's a few things that I think are worth noting, and one just as a backdrop, a few years ago, the tax laws were changed and deduction amounts changed to raise the standard deduction for most filers, and so it's become more challenging to beat that standard deduction with your own itemized deductions. So fewer people itemize, but if you are giving to charities in a fairly good way, and you might decide to kind of lump them together and maybe do 2 years worth of gifts this year, next year, or whatever year it is, and not the next year, so that you have a larger deductible amount to go along with your other itemized deductions and maybe exceed those just standard deduction limits. So that can be done. That would be something to talk to your tax person with to make sure you're getting your strategy right, but that can be helpful. One thing that really can apply to a lot of folks these days is if you're 70 and a half or older and have an IRA and want to support some type of charity anyway in your normal daily life and giving, you can make what's called a qualified charitable distribution from your IRA. Go straight from your IRA to the receiving institution. It can be most anything that's a 50c3 type of organization, and that can even, once you are of the age to have required distributions, can satisfy your required distribution. So if you're on the hook to take out, X amount of dollars from your IRA, you can do so, direct that to your favorite charity, and not be taxed on it at all. You still get credit for your distribution that you're required to take, but not taxed on it, and the recipient gets the use of all of it. You can gift more than your required distribution, up to $105,000 a year, which doesn't happen too often, but it certainly can. But that is a way that's growing in popularity for folks of distribution age to satisfy that requirement and support one or more of their favorite causes, without getting taxed on it. Kind of a win-win-win situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, these strategies sound like they can be complex, so it could be wise to reach out to a tax advisor. How can we get in contact with you over at Edward Jones?
Yeah, I always advise folks to go to edwardjones.com, and you can search for an advisor by your zip code or city or some type of locale like that, and it will take you to folks in your neighborhood, maybe St. Joseph, maybe someplace else.
Excellent.
Easy.
Perfect. Make it easy. So consider tax-smart charitable gifts, some strategies there for you. Mark Matthews with Edward Jones. Again, Mark, thanks for joining us and talking to us about this.
Thank you, Mary Grace.
Of course.